Yo, got a package here.
Coming from Tennessee?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever say no?
How can I not? Thank you. Nate, Bluray Anonymous. Let's get this popping, son. Strange. Look, it does about it good. Ooh, a care package. We did a little minor trade. Did a video already. I had an extra copy of RoboCop remastered version, and he sent me a Lone Wolf McQuaid. I don't think I have a Chuck Norris movie besides Expendables Part 2. So, I heard this is one of his decent ones. So, you gotta have the Chuckster in one of your little, in your collection. And, you know, pretty much bare bones. But, that's all good. Hopefully, it's a pretty decent remastered copy. And some cheesy martial arts, some Chuck Norris emotional acting, which obviously he has none. And David Carradine from Kung Fu, and of course, most infamous for Kill Bill. So yeah, along with McQuaid. Yeah, I'm laughing because it's real life reaction. So real quick. Yeah, you're funny, dude. Real quick. Okay, Leroy, aka the Last Dragon, aka Bane. I want to congratulate you on this trade. Yes, but let Bane know this. If he shows up on your channel holding him some ransom notes, say that he stole you from YouTube, I'll be forced to bring out the below memo. I will find you. I will kill you. That's funny. We don't want this. I don't want this, but it will happen. It is a possible outcome in the future. If you should decide to make such a bold move, I vote against such a move as going against once Jedi Knight. Zeus, the guy who trained Batman, and leads the A-Team, would just be a bad decision. Your move, Bane. Whoa. I don't know, man. Might have to show this to Bane. I'll leave it in his little mailbox because he checks the mail every once a week. Threats aside, I hope you enjoyed this Chuck Norris movie. It's nice to have at least a few of these crazy movies in your collection. I've also thrown a poster for you for my comic, which I'll show you in a second. Enjoy it, my friend. I assume you're reading this live on camera, so if that is the case, Nathan of Bluray Anonymous approves the following message. Oh, okay. Leroy Granny 5 is one of the most entertaining channels on YouTube. Wow, thank you. That aside, what matters most is the person behind the channel, and truly the man is a class act and always possible. His comments are always appreciated, well thought out, and very meaningful. A much appreciated member of the community and someone I'm glad to call a friend. Wow. Well, very nice. In conclusion, next time I am in Nepa and we have to meet up for a few. By a few, I mean many drinks at Bluray. Keep up the great work, and I truly appreciate your comments and communication. I don't know if you too. Cheers, my friend. And we got here Mr. Nate here, aka Winchester, which is Nate the Great, the Yellow Dart. You never call yourself that on camera, so you're gonna have to explain to me what Yellow Dart means. But much appreciated. It's a very nice words coming from you, so hopefully you weren't a little boozed out when you wrote that, emotional, or you're watching something that got you emotional. But wow, and I got it signed, dude. This is awesome, man. Thank you. By the way, I did purchase your comic, and when I get it, I'll do the review and make a video. But yeah, dude, this is pretty sweet, man. Thank you. Damn, dude. Appreciate that, man. So you asked a little tag, 10 films that I cannot live without, and if I'm away for 30 years and come back, those are the only films that I'll have left in my collection. Man, that is not as easy as you say, because I'm doing a list and compiling in my head. I always have 10. I could think of 20, and then it's just like trying to add something, take it out. So I don't know if this is my final 10, but this is what I can come up with on the top of my head. I want to go with stuff that I can, it has rewatchability factor, what it means to me, what it what initiates inside me as far as my emotions, my feelings, how that all translates into why I enjoy watching it over and over, and all those fun things. So without further ado, and these are not in any particular order, let's just go with number one. Numero uno, Rocky, the original Rocky, 1976. Directed by John G. Avildsen. He's done other stuff, as we all know, Karate Kid, so on and so forth. But Sylvester Stallone was destined for this role. He wrote this movie, and he fought hard for it, because he could have sold the script and it could have been a totally different movie, and his career path would have went somewhere else. But he stuck to his guns, and he was only going to do the project if he started the film, and it worked out. It's a great, inspiring story that I think of all walks of life, we always can appreciate the guy that has talent, or may not have the greatest talent, but has that drive and hunger to want to do it, and having that loved ones around you, and maybe you might not be in the greatest situations, but you just, that heart is bigger than anything you can ever face, and that's always what the Rocky movies represent, especially the first one. And the first one is such a well-directed movie, so greatly acted by Stallone, and more than likely it's more of also a love story between him and Adrian, and it's kind of cute and sweet how they develop. And then also what's great about it is, I mean, not just the boxing, but the soundtrack. But Bill Conti is just iconic. Every time you hear that theme and him running down on the streets of Philly, and it's so iconic. The stairs on the Metropolitan Museum of Art in Philly. I've been privileged to go there once, and man, it just brought back so many emotions when I went there, and seeing people still doing the whole running up and down the stairs. But I'm gonna go back there for sure. Go to down that stairs one day. So yeah, that's number one. Number two, of course, I gotta do a couple of my martial arts films. I could have picked the whole Bruce Lee set, but I'm gonna go with probably his biggest impact as far as what he gave to the world, and that's his last completed film, which is Enter the Dragon. Came out in 1973. Unfortunately, after completion, he passed away. Brain hemorrhage, and so a bunch of complications and rumors as how he died. But we're not getting into that. But Enter the Dragon became a worldwide phenomenon. Because at this time, his philosophies he finally has evolved in his art and his philosophies. And if you're watching Enter the Dragon, you see those things with Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist, having a way is no way, not having a particular style, learning the martial code, just all those things and his life philosophies he's finally able to put on film, and that's why I had to include this. And as far as American martial arts movies, it wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for a film like Enter the Dragon. It was kind of like the grandfather of American martial arts cinema. It's why we love it so much, and why we love Bruce Lee. And he has some iconic characters like Jim Kelly, who plays Williams. It also has a pretty cool 70s soundtrack as well, if you haven't heard it. Enter the Dragon, número dos. Número tres, I'm going to go another Hong Kong old school kung fu movie, and that would be Enter the 36 Chambers, or has so many names. Another name is AKA Master Killer. This is a Shaw Brothers film. Logan Toxic, you know about Shaw Brothers. You know about Gordon Liu. What's going on with that? Yeah, man. Gordon Liu, aka the Master Killer. You know him probably from Kill Bill. He's in the 2 films. You probably know him better in part 2 when he plays Pai Mei. That is Gordon Liu. And in part 1, he plays the leader of the Crazy 88s, the guy with the bald head. That's Gordon Liu. He's classic, man. He's a real life martial artist, and it's basically a story of a young man and kind of like a rebellion going on in that particular time in China with the Manchus and the Hans, and basically trying to rise up to do what's right. People close to him get killed because he's trying to rebel against the Manchus, and basically he's able to escape, and he finds shelter in the Shaolin Temple, and basically he converts himself to Buddhism, and now he's learning the ways of the Shaolin basically now. But he also wants to get revenge. But in order to build your mind, body, and spirit, he kind of just evolves himself from just being a boy to a man. That's basically what the film kind of portrays, and he has to go through each chamber, which is of immense physical skills that we can never ever think about on camera. And I mean, the training sequences are probably one of the best ever, top notch. There is no other martial arts film that can top the training sequences in that film. It feels real, it feels authentic. The fights is great, and I mean, it's not, like I said, it's a genre, it's not for everyone, but this is something for me that I grew up with, and I could think about like dozens of others, but this one seems to stand out the most. So 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Alright, number 4. Alright, I guess we're gonna go to the 80s, and I'm gonna start with a couple of the 84 movies, and rest in peace, Harold Ramis. Egon, he was part of the writing team of the original Ghostbusters, and that is one of my all-time favorite movies. I can watch that anytime. It's the comedy. Bill Murray's just, it don't get better than that. I mean, a lot of it's ad-lib, and that's Bill Murray style, and it's very deadpan humor, but it still resonates. It still is funny today. Is the special effects probably a little, yeah, but that's beside the point. The story, the comedy, and it's a great film. It's iconic. I mean, it's beyond the realms of pop culture. Of course, the famous song by Ray Parker Jr. So everything in that kind of resonates to one of the biggest films of all time as far as in American culture. So I can't go without seeing that film. So that's Ghostbusters. Another film from the 80s, 1984, and that'll be The Karate Kid. That's starring Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, another John G. Avildsen film, and basically takes Rocky, puts in the 80s, puts a little twist with martial arts. It's written by Robert Mark Kamen, and he actually written those Tekken movies. So the writer obviously was a martial artist. He obviously borrowed a lot from Rocky. He borrowed a lot from the Japanese Bushido films. He borrowed some of those from the Shaw Brothers films. You kind of get an American version of karate. And basically, I've talked about this before on my channel. It's not about the action in the film. It's basically the theory and the friendship behind two people who need each other. Ralph Macchio, as a single parent, father passed away years ago, and he's just, not that he's like rebelling. He needs guidance and someone that can be there for him. And then they have this unlikely pair with Pat Morita, who's an older guy, kind of to himself, doesn't speak English very well, but they form a friendship, and based on that friendship, and being in a place where you're new and getting bullied, and he teaches him karate, not just for revenge. It's more about building his mind, his heart, and his spirit. And through the karate, he learns so many life lessons. And of course, kind of the funny training stuff, and the wax on, wax off, and paint the fence, and all that stuff. And of course, a couple cool ass songs in there. You're the best. And of course, everyone knows the whole crane kick. So you don't want me to do that on camera. I don't want to bust my ass. But anyways, Yeah, definitely the Karate Kid original. I am Bluray 85, aka The Last Dragon. Film came out in 1985, starring Timok. Um, and there's a lot of little cameos in that film. William H. Macy's in there. Chaz Palminteri has a little cameo. A little guy, you probably remember Ernie Reyes Jr. He was in Surf Ninjas, Teenage Mutant Turtles Part 2, so on and so forth. But it's it's a film that I kind of just grew up on. It's just meant everything. It resonates with me, my every being part as a part of me. So basically, it's just a young man who is a martial arts fanatic. That's he eats, sleeps, drinks martial arts, and he's pretty much given a mission to kind of find someone who will guide him to the final level because he doesn't believe he has it. So during that adventure, he kind of just evolves because basically he needs the ingredients of love, friendship, betrayal, revenge, all those things combined will allow him to see what he needed to find all along. And that's basically with the finding the master within yourselves. That's basically the tale of the film. The film has a lot of heart. It's campy. It's cheesy. It's beyond 80s. A lot of great songs in here. The Bars, Rhythm of the Night. If a lot of you guys like Miami Connection, I think you guys would like The Last Dragon. It kind of has like that cheesy feel. It definitely has that cheesy feel and great music. And that's like living that humble spirit and trying to find that confidence, not being cocky. It's just finding that confidence always when you just need it, to go above and beyond. Like films like Rocky and The Last Dragon and stuff that I always just live my being with. So definitely Last Dragon. Oh yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. For Eddie Murphy, this is the film that kind of just catapulted him to stardom. I mean, it was a film that was originally made for it was a Stallone, and he passed on it, and Mickey Rooney was going to be in it. Yes, eventually they gave it to Eddie Murphy, and then they had to change the story because it was an action piece for Stallone, and he took some of those pieces, but basically Eddie Murphy he ad-libbed a lot of these scenes. He kind of just did his own thing, kind of like a fish out of water, putting a guy from Detroit to Beverly Hills. It's funny. It's funny. He you just see the oozing of talent that he's putting on this film. It's like it's brilliant comedic stuff. It's funny. Another great film with a great ass soundtrack. It is beautiful. Everyone knows. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. Uh, Gotta go with Gladiator, 2000. Russell Crowe, directed by Ridley Scott. I don't know how to explain the story on this. It's always a film that resonated within me. And when I first saw it in the theater, it blew me away. The whole story behind it and the acting. And Russell Crowe is this man. He was brilliant. And Joaquin Phoenix as being the villain. And them two going at it. And every time I watch the ending, it gets me every time. I can't, I ain't gonna lie, I shed a tear. It's a Gladiator. I can't help it. The man he was full of honor. I mean, he just wanted to be with his family, and he dodged death. And finally, when he was ready for it, he did what he had to do, and gave people back Rome, and he didn't want no power. That's one of the reasons why Marcus Aurelius wanted to give it to him when he didn't want it. Usually, it's the person who doesn't want it is probably the best person to have it. It's an old proverb. That's Forrest Gump, directed by Robert Zemeckis. Of course, Tom Hanks came out in 1994. This is something that's personally is rewatchability. Watched it 100 times. Everyone's seen this film. It's based off the novel Forrest Gump, and it's about this simple boy, and he kind of just grows up, and like he somehow stumbles upon some of the most important events in history. It's just so funny how he just goes about it, and you would think that someone so simple, just not in the ordinary, because has one of the most interesting, productive lives that we probably never would have. And the Forrest Gump does have that. So it's breathtaking. It's a great all-time performance by Tom Hanks, and the rewatchability factor is beyond a 10. It's always highly rewatchable. It's fun. It's heartwarming. It's dramatic. It's loving. Everyone can relate to it in some aspect. He has the love for Jenny, and she only sees him as a friend, and we all know about that guy. So, and just that journey within yourself. And Forrest Gump always seems to hit me every time I watch it. And last but certainly not least, and that would be Malcolm X. That's directed by Spike Lee, and that's another film that, man, I have, if I see it once a year, it's a deeply rooted film, and the evolution of a man that basically went through many transformations, from basically a young thug, and goes to prison, kind of finds spirituality. Then he slowly becomes, Malcolm X when he comes out of prison, obviously with the Nation of Islam, and then from there develops his own philosophy. Once he makes pilgrimage to Mecca, and he sees Muslims from all over the world, different colors, like me, like him, they're all different colors of the spectrum. He realizes that Islam is more than just being stuck to one race and having one set of ideology, and he kind of just evolves again into realizing that maybe the stuff he was preaching wasn't always necessarily right. And it's kind of sad that by the time he was trying to evolve into that part of it, it was too late. And there's a lot of things the film kind of shows. It shows the realness. It's not, candy coat Malcolm's life. He definitely did a lot of bad things. He did some good things, and that's just the dichotomy of a human being. Like, not everything could always be candy coated. So, and the performance by Denzel was just masterful, and it's a shame he never won an Oscar for that, because he should have, personally. And I thought Spike Lee really stepped up his game for this film, and like I said, I mean, it resonated a lot within me, because you get to see the whole spectrum of a person, and that's something it's a long film, but I try to watch it at least once a year. So I think that's my top 10. So yeah, it's my top 10, and I'm sticking to it. And once again, thank you, Nate, aka Bluray Anonymous, for doing my trade and saying some very nice things. And basically, hopefully we'll do some more of that again. And always thank you for the support of my channel, and to everyone else. If you can, you like this, like me rambling, but like down below, comment, subscribe, do the thing. One peace, love, peace.